All right, so I ended up spending several days zeroing at Old Colony, and there were a variety of factors that went into why that happened. First and foremost, I was definitely going to zero one day because of my ankle after the fall. It really was hurting. It was hurting even when I was just sitting around, which hadn't happened since like the initial injury. So I was being pretty cautious, and I definitely wanted to take some time and rest it and make sure that I was good. I also had a few different things that I needed to troubleshoot. My Zoleo hadn't been working that day when I was trying to contact Jen at the trailhead. I ended up having to delete the Zoleo app, re-download it, and then install a software update on the messenger. So just to address that, yeah, I have had some issues with the Zoleo. I think going forward for future hikes, I would probably invest in getting a Garmin InReach just so I could have like the screen and be able to message from it, and not have to rely on an app on my phone. And so that is something that I took care of in town, and will likely be changing on future hikes, just to let people know. So I zeroed that first day. I had texted the boys when I realized I was going back to Old Colony and let them know, like, hey, I fell, I'm going back. And they were able to get a ride in. And so I spent several days just seeing them. I was really sad that I hadn't gotten a chance to say goodbye. I really did miss them. They could have been more communicative in the fact that, they were still in Gorham. I didn't know where they were for a while, but they were going through some stuff, and I forgave them for that and was just happy to get to spend some time with them. So we had a movie night. We watched Lilo and Stitch. Here is a clip of them comparing my evil ratio to Stitch's evil ratio.
It's unusually high for someone your size. We have to fix that.
And then that first zero, to Easy's parents had said if we were anywhere near Polly's Pancake Parlor that they would pay for us to go eat there. They had went there last fall and enjoyed it, and so we went and picked out on pancakes. They were very good. And so the next morning I'd planned on leaving. However, I did need to go to the post office. That first zero was a Sunday, so I wasn't able to mail home all the stuff that I needed to mail home. By the time the post office opened at 9:30, and then by the time Jen was getting back from taking other hikers to trail, it was pretty late, and I realized I wasn't going to make it very far that day, so I decided to zero again. And it was hard to leave. In case you didn't know, Half Baked, his name partially comes from the fact that he is a baker, and he was also once a chef in fine dining. And so there is a very nice commercial kitchen at Old Colony, and he was making use of that for the days that we were there. So it was hard to leave when I was being well fed and hanging out with my boys. So that second night is when he started cooking. I'll insert some clips of that.
Making sauce for meatballs. Too Easy decides to start playing Oktoberfest music. The vibes are weird.
Yeah, and this here be.
Yeah, and then the next day, Aunt Flo came to visit, and I didn't feel good, and so I used it as an excuse to not hike, and stayed again. And then that night, Half Baked said he was going to make meatballs the next day, and you can ask my mom whenever I come home That's always what I want her to make. And so it was hard to pass up homemade meatballs. And as I've addressed in the last few videos, I am not looking forward to this being over. And I was kind of just wasting time. Yeah, I was, but I had a good time saying goodbye to my boys. And I miss them dearly, but I'm hiking on. The time that I'm filming this, I have made some progress and I'm doing good. Oh, and here are some bonus clips of when Too Easy found a violin at Old Colony. He is not as skilled as the gentleman at Mizpah Springs Hut who played that morning song, but he did go and wake up half-baked by playing the violin, so that was fun.
Music.